Yeah, tariffs are good and bad. Like, example would be on goods that we don't produce at all. It's going to really affect us, but on goods we do produce already within the US, those might become more competitive compared to other markets. Like, example would be China. China creates steel. The US also creates steel, but as of right now, we buy more steel from China and we're able to get it much cheaper. This 10% tariff could bring that closer to a balance where companies can decide whether they choose American-made steel or Chinese-made steel.
Yeah, the idea should be to like bring manufacturing and production back to the United States.
And realistically, that won't happen. Welcome back, everybody,
To another week
of your favorite crypto podcast,
Sometimes Crypto,
The Unscripted
Crypto Podcast.
Hey yo. So, lots have happened since last episode, and then Friday, and then the weekend, and then the whole shebang. The market don't want to give us a continuous green week, I see.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Too much thrill, too much excitement is not in our euphoria is not
here.
Plan.
It's not right here. No. Alrighty. So I guess instead of talking about the market right away and everything being a bloodbath and biggest liquidations in crypto we've seen ever, let's get into some of the reasons why, I guess, or what's speculated is why.
Yeah. Because the losses were intense, and it kind of came out of the blue. But we do know that there has been some changes in U.S. politics since January, what was it, 21st? Trumpin'. Yeah. Tariffs might be the ultimate culprit for this insane sell-off.
With some market makers and low liquidity over weekends.
Yeah, liquidity on weekends tends to be slower. So, from what I've come to understand, Trump is imposing tariffs immediately. Like 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, 10% more on China, and sudden, like very quick. People were expecting these tariffs to come, but not so soon.
Yeah, most of these tariffs some of them were like right away, and I believe others are starting like as of tomorrow. The majority of these tariffs should all be in place, on top of whatever tariffs they already have.
Yeah. So tariff war
has started.
Yeah.
So inflation is on the rise again at this point.
Well, yeah, because if tariffs go up and the cost of goods go up,
that's inflationary right away.
Yeah, and the Fed will likely start raising their interest rates.
Or cutting.
You think they'll cut it?
So, well, let's get into tariffs first before we get into what the Fed might do next in the next meetings.
Okay.
So, did you see the reasons why Trump is placing these tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China?
So, I don't know why specifically. I do believe that there is like the trade agreement between Canada, Mexico, and the United States is coming up to an end like next year. And these tariffs might be like some way of showing force, I guess, for specifically Mexico and Canada. But that's just a hypothesis. Is there like a definitive reason?
Yeah, so the reasoning he said was where I have it here. So essentially the reason the reasons for Mexico and Canada specifically and some of China was because of the increased inflow of fentanyl into the US. And then it was illegal immigration from both Canada and Mexico, and somewhat China, but more so China's side was just the amount of fentanyl coming into the US via them, being exported via their countries.
Oh, okay.
Which which I'm not sure why it would. I guess I would agree with you in showing force and being like, do what we want, or we're gonna tariff you. And then ideally, I would believe the idea is you're gonna force manufacturing to some degree, because not all of it can be moved, but you're gonna be forcing them to move out and look to other places to import into the U.S. If especially like certain goods force consumers not to buy because of the higher prices. For the most part, tariffs, as everyone knows, are bearish for markets, especially the markets who are putting them on those, implementing them, because it affects their own consumers, especially since America is such a heavy importer from all three countries. Well, maybe not so much Canada, but more so Mexico and China.
We import a lot from Canada. I think it's mostly lumber and energy, though.
So that's the thing, though. Energy doesn't have the same tariff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, energy products like oil, natural gas, and I think there was something else. Yeah. Give me one second.
I feel like those just sum it up pretty substantially.
I think there was a third. Oh, and electricity, because we also implement.
Yeah, just straight up
export that.
Just straight
raw
up
power.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the most part, Canada's tariffs are all around 25% for all imports, except for energy resources. Those are getting only a 10% tariff.
Okay.
So it's quite a bit less.
Yeah, but still tariffed more than.
It's still tariffed. Yeah, still 10%. Your prices of those goods will still go up, but it's not as drastic as a 25%.
Yeah.
But the main reason is for illegal immigration and influx of fentanyl and other drugs into the U.S. from Canada. And then on Mexico's side was also same illegal immigration and then just drug trafficking as a whole.
Interesting.
And then as it goes for China, the administration aims to hold China accountable for its role in production and distribution of fentanyl, which has contributed to the opioid crisis, it says here. That's from the government. That's their response on it. Not 100% sure if we can say the opioid pandemic is to blame on China.
Yeah, I feel like that's a smokescreen of sorts. Like he's saying it's for this, with the idea of like probably like trying to fix that issue with fentanyl being imported, but not really it not really being the true culprit.
Yeah,
because like I know China has been purchasing and investing a lot in Mexico for their warehouses and manufacturing, so to try to avoid Chinese tariffs from importing to America. Like investing in Mexico doesn't have the same tariffs. I mean, they're also investing in like the Panama Canal, where apparently
China?
China has a good portion of stake into the Panama Canal.
So I just read today on X that Panama will start allowing U.S. Navy ships to go in for free, and they're going to start cutting back on the agreement they had with China that comes to an end in 2027, I think, or relatively soon.
Yeah, the whole Panama Canal thing is like an actual shit show, to put it frank. The people running it apparently did not have much oversight and missed a lot of things going on in terms of management and investments from China. I believe the Panama Canal was actually like funded mostly by U.S. funds and workers. And
when it was like originally or now?
Originally.
Well, we built it. Well, we finished building it.
Yeah, and then we just at some point just gave it to them.
Yeah, I forgot what president was, agreed to give it back to him at the end of like 1999 or something. And that's when but we had it for a good like 10-15 year stretch. That was just ours. Like we had free use of it, and it was owned. Like we had a strip of land that was owned by us after the French gave up on the canal for various different reasons.
Yeah, so I don't think that the fentanyl thing is the only reason, and the what is it, the immigration.
No, I don't. I think there's bigger things at play that we just don't know about. Like, that's upper brass for sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to figure out, but it does affect the market greatly, and it could. And we will most likely see inflation rise due to these tariffs because of prices going up. Because everything will cost about 25% more coming in from Mexico and Canada, and another 10, 50, maybe 10% more. Realistically, 10% more from China itself.
Yep.
Which then we would have to wait and see what those companies decide to do and where they decide to move their operations to.
Yeah. So like if you're planning on buying Coronas for like, I don't know, $20, now it's going to cost $25.
Prices go up.
Prices go up. That's inflation.
Prices go up. That's inflation. And so now we'll just have to wait and see what these companies decide to do and how they decide to manage, and wait and see how much pain it causes to the U.S. market as a whole. Especially since if the idea was to add tariffs and then reduce taxes, which that hasn't happened yet, and he hasn't spoken about that end. Because it's a little different if you're taxing us less, meaning we're keeping more of our money, even if goods cost a bit more, but we're keeping it on one side. And then you decide where you're buying and spending, which that hasn't happened yet.
Yep. That's the issue with governments. They like to raise our costs, but don't really cut anywhere.
Exactly.
Once they ask for more money in taxes, they rarely ask for less money in taxes somewhere else.
Correct. And then we would also have to wait and see if these countries decide to come to the table and see what they can work around within themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a whole discussion. Trading.
Because on that note, Canada has also put tariffs on U.S. goods for Canadians.
Oh, wow. Yeah, makes sense.
Well, they did the same thing. I don't remember the amount right now, but I think it was like 25-15%. And they're actually doing it a little slower. There are some tariffs that are coming in right away, and then there's others that are they're going to give about to the end of February, about a 30-day window, so they can see where they're going to outsource their goods that they need imported for their supply chains.
Yeah, tariffs placed on us by other countries will essentially mean that our goods cost more for the other countries, therefore it should lower the amount of sales that we actually produce.
Yeah. But yeah, tariffs are good and bad. Like, example would be on goods that we don't produce at all, it's going to really affect us. But on goods we do produce already within the US, those might become more competitive compared to other markets.
Yeah.
Like, example would be China. China creates steel. The US also creates steel. But as of right now, we buy more steel from China since we're able to get it much cheaper than what it costs in the US. This 10% tariff could bring that closer to a balance where companies can decide whether they choose American-made steel or Chinese-made steel.
Yeah.
And save on that. Or make the cost it costs just about the same.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea should be to like bring manufacturing and production back to the United States.
And realistically, that just won't happen.
Yeah, I find it unlikely.
It's unlikely. Costs to produce within the US is just too expensive. So that we'll have to wait and see. And of course, as tariffs were announced, market cooled off throughout the weekend. It was holding fairly well, and then Sunday night, Asia market opens, and they're like, we're back to selling everything, and they just start getting rid of anything and everything that can exist. Stocks as well as apart from, crypto is being sold off.
Yep, crypto took a massive plunge. And the reason why they're selling is because of the expected price increase in the future. It's better to have money on hand rather than deployed, just so that it's easier to make purchases.
Yeah. So I let's get to the market, I guess, and going over what happens.
Yeah. What was it? $2 billion in losses?
So about $2.2 billion worth of liquidations occurred within 24 hours.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
That is currently the biggest liquidation event in all of crypto history, bigger than Luna, bigger than FTX, bigger than anything that we've seen. In terms of liquidation, in terms of pullback, some tokens got hurt.
Real bad.
Yeah. Not pretty at all.
So I know that you follow it quite frequently, but like the Bitcoin dominance chart.
You want me to pull it up? Pull up the charts?
Yes. Yeah. Because that chart paints a very dirty, nasty picture for
the alt market.
For the alt market, yeah.
So let's start with you want me to start with Bitcoin dominance? Let's
do Bitcoin dominance.
So this is what Bitcoin dominance did. We're on a daily time frame. Go to 4 hour just for the giggles. So we were around here, just up, down, nothing crazy. It's a Sunday, about 7. And then once Asia market opens, Bitcoin dominance spiked. And you can see it spiked all the way to about 64.26%. Meaning the majority of money within the market shifted away from the altcoins and just flew into Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, at the same time, Bitcoin price was also going down. It was not going up. It was doing the complete opposite.
Yeah, that's the painful part. That's like the cherry on top.
Yeah, it's
because the price going down of Bitcoin and the increased dominance just means that a lot of money flew out of the alts.
A metric crap ton. So this is Bitcoin dominance. This is ETH dominance. ETH dominance, which was not in the best shape as we said last week, was relatively still holding. It was going up, it was pushing. It topped out about 11.65%. It dropped all the way to 9.2%. Which the percentage change looks like very little, but in terms of value is quite a bit. Put it in perspective. Let me look up a number real quick. So ETH, the top 5 coins with the highest liquidations, ETH, in terms of just ETH value, there was about $612 million worth of ETH liquidated. That's the biggest loser. Biggest liquidation event. So it dropped drastically in the dominance for ETH. Like a metric crap.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's painful.
It felt it. If you just go down to like the others, this is the total market cap for everything below the top 10 cryptos. We were hovering just about at 9.7%. It dropped all the way to 7.8%. In terms of actual like value, so this is, I didn't have this before, but this is the others total. This is just the total market cap of others. It dropped from here, 346 to, it dropped 35% respectfully.
Yeah, 36 is what it is.
And this is from,
yeah, that's insane.
That's from Friday night to Sunday, and right now Monday morning for everyone in the US. 36%, which is a shit ton of money. We went from 346 billion in the market to 220.
Yeah, that's brutal.
In market cap. It destroyed. A lot of altcoins saw multi double digits bleeds that have not been seen in a very long time like that.
And
And
For some reason, this all took place because of the tariffs.
Yeah, so the sentiment right now is a mixture of tariff wars mixed with market makers suppressing price down over a weekend and just using the event itself to allow just to capitulate the market.
I see.
Essentially, since the market makers are the ones in the background who will facilitate the liquidity for all these trades, they're just bombarding the price down. Yeah, not pretty. And if you look at the UST dominance, it also spiked like a bat out of hell from where it was around here, which it was going up, right, naturally, but it went up from, let's see, around here, about 4.2%, all the way to 4.9%.
USDT. This is USDT dominance.
Correct. This is how much money is just in stablecoin. Which just tells you how much money is flowing out of alts or out of crypto back into a stable pegged dollar.
Yeah.
On crypto, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially, when this goes up, it's because people are not wanting to be in the market.
Correct. If we were to look at like Total 3, which is everything in the market. This is Friday, so essentially from the moment tariffs were announced to market opening, which in the market open is when we see that the crazy wick, 20% in Total 3.
Significant.
Which is significant. That's what, 3.5 trillion market cap to 2.82. That's the liquidation event we see. That's a 2.2 billion where, of funds that have been liquidated. Essentially, it's quite drastic. If you even look at ETH, which was one of the hardest hit, sitting at 3,400, going all the way to 2,100, almost bear market lows for some tokens. Like bear market lows have been hit.
Yeah.
Pretty much this is October 2023, 1,500. We're not too far away from our last accumulation phase on ETH. So quite a telling picture of the sentiment in altcoins and how hard it was hit. Even looking at Sol, hit extremely hard in that same time frame. Everything was, right? We're not gonna say it wasn't. Right here, 20% down.
Damn.
Quite.
So it looks like
quite
it was
a telling
20%
picture
across the board, pretty much.
Yeah, everything had multi digits. Some had 37, others had 40. Of course, smaller caps were hit harder, or just the tokens that are being hit on the most were hit harder. Like ETH had, what did I just say? ETH had one of the harder ones, of course. What, 30? 30, about 38%, 37% drawdown. And it's one of the biggest market caps in crypto. Not a very telling. Some tokens are very bearish, and others are just dead.
Yeah.
And now when you go to Bitcoin, though, Bitcoin hasn't lost anything. Bitcoin, it's still in the same range it's been in since we broke out. Our lows are the 90,000s, 89,000s, and our highs are all-time highs. Pretty much 106,000.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin hasn't done anything.
Yep.
Bitcoin is still in the same range. It hasn't broken any structure in terms of what it's doing. It hasn't broken below the range low. It's still holding the range low, and it's still holding the range high and rejecting off of it every time. even if you look at it, if this were to hold, right, because now it has to hold, it has to keep pushing up. It made a higher low than this low back in on January the 13th. Because this low, we hit 89,000. The difference was Bitcoin dominance did not spike the way this one did. So the alts weren't as hurt as this one. But Bitcoin's still relatively still bullish, has not lost structure. Of course, short-term bearish, but it hasn't lost long-term structure. If you were to look at a daily candle, right, that's a giant wick, just like this is a giant wick. But if it closes above this trend line, right, and it holds this trend line, it's in a bearish, it's in a bullish still position, because it didn't close below it, meaning there isn't a risk of more downside pressure. We actually have risk of more upside back to the range highs. Just that the picture doesn't look the same on alts. In no way, shape, or form. If that makes sense.
Nope, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. Yeah, it's good that Bitcoin is still holding the range. If anything, it's a good opportunity to get in at below 100.
Yeah.
Because part of me is thinking that this trade war with the tariffs might not even last that long.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's just an initial thing of like show of force. It's like
it's a lot of panic selling right now as well.
It's just to remind, I think it's just to remind other countries that the United States still has tariffs in its pocket and could absolutely survive with implementing them.
Yeah. So if you look at this is still pretty bullish. Close above here on the daily time frame, still holding strong. Even on the 4 hour, we're pushing above, right, to re-break that same exact trend that we just lost. Or on the 4 hour, it looks like we just lost it. On the bigger time frame, it doesn't look like that. But we get closes above, we're just going to start pushing back up to that range high. Ideally, if everything cools off and settles down. And if you even look at Sol, on the higher time frame, a daily time frame, we are holding a long-term trend line that's on the uptrend. It's holding it. It broke. It's the same trend line. Wicked up, breaking all-time highs, coming back down. Again, another very large pin bar candle. If it holds this, breaks, closes above, you're still in a bullish position in this time frame. Respectfully.
Yeah.
I would say so, at least. Right? If we're to get closes below this candle, then I would be calling for, lower lows. We're still coming down, but as of right now, it's holding. Could potentially push up, depending on what the market decides to do. So Sol's still looking good. Bitcoin's still looking good. ETH is not. Realistically, ETH is not doing as good as other tokens. It was really hit hard. It lost a lot from where it was at before. And it's currently right now sitting on a support zone. If it can close above on support, we can talk about it potentially going back to the upside. But daily candle closes above any of these trend line support zones, we should be looking good.
ETH has been a poor performer as of late.
In this market. One of my favorite tokens as of right now, Sui. Look at that. That's the wick. It came down all the way 2.4 and it was gobbled up. Gobbled. Straight eaten alive, and now could close on a daily time frame very positive and not too far away from where it was a couple days ago.
Yes, Sui's definitely one of those that seems like it has a lot of potential. Where I've been hearing a lot about it. I think it's a gaming token for like the whole thing is
it's not a gaming token.
Games.
It's an ecosystem.
Well, I say gaming token because like they plan on releasing gaming console like next month.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm not saying,
it is a,
I'm not saying
it is a whole
gaming just because
ecosystem
like, yeah,
because they are trying to like implement certain things, but they're releasing a gaming token next month with a whole like show convention type thing, a whole console, 70 plus games, and yeah, there's other things like they're working on. I believe it's like a protocol for decentralized storage similar to that of Filecoin.
yeah. I'm not saying.
Ecosystem for sure. Trying to compete with Solana, like having
Yeah.
Solana as a competitor is pretty bullish.
Yeah, the reason I said I don't call it a gaming token because it's not the token of any game. Same as AVAX.
Okay.
AVAX isn't a gaming token. Things are just there's a game built on AVAX.
Okay.
That's why. And there's actual gaming tokens that are meant for games.
Specifically for games, like yeah,
The
I get
game
that.
itself. Yeah. But quick
Yeah.
little thing on Sui. It lost the trend line a while ago. It tested against its downtrend, bounced against it, went down, but it bounced really strong on the 76. Good support level, just in general. Like there's a good support where it bounced off of, and completely just upside wick, like downside wick, and then just completely ate it all back up, and now it's turning green on the daily. So good momentum here. We're still in US Open, so a lot of things can play out. Mind you, we are recording on Monday. A lot of things can change from here to there.
Yeah, I did buy some Sui.
I told him to buy. I told him to buy twice. Once in the initial first dump, and then once it kept on falling like a knife.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw it like around here, I told him to buy because it started to bounce up pretty strong. But that's all I got as of right now. We looked at all the total threes and dominances in Bitcoin. Ooh, quick little another one I like that was hit hard because it's an AVAT, because it's an ETH token. Aave. Aave was hit really hard too, but also bounced. Also, mind you, this is a 200-day MA moving average where they're all bouncing on. So good zones that were hit and holding up thus far. We need candle closes for the next couple of hours to really say much more on that.
It does seem like most of the tokens are bouncing off of that 200-day moving average.
A lot of them are somewhere, but yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a good sign. And in terms of like that whole Sui thing, there's a lot going on, and I did mention I did buy. So
I also bought.
Not financial advice. But I've heard that they are working on getting onto Phantom, which is huge.
They are on Phantom already.
They're on it already?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's crazy. Phantom is essentially one of the biggest wallets that there is right now.
Yeah.
It, on the App Store, even past Coinbase wallet. And seeing how it is very competitive with Solana, with it being supported on Phantom now, means that there's going to be a lot of like opportunity for it to continue growing in the future with new users.
Yeah. Also, I said a lot of things bounce. I'm gonna reiterate that. A lot of these strong tokens that have been forming really well have bounced on good zones. The tokens that have not been performing or have been very weak compared to the rest of the market did not bounce on those levels. They're just bouncing the same out of in a nowhere in an empty zone, right? Not everything bounced on support. Some things just bounced because the rest of the market felt like this was like the stopping point as of right now. I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
Like for example, Render hit a 180-day low yesterday at $3.38, which is
That's crazy.
One of the strongest AI tokens was demolished.
Yeah, that's
It's recovering really well, but it had a nasty wick.
Yeah, Render has a lot of potential for upside, or at least it was a big contender a few months ago. Where likely to see crazy returns this year with AI being a huge narrative.
Yeah. Want me to tell you what the top 5 coins with the highest liquidations were?
Yeah.
So as I said previously,
Ethereum,
you know one of them.
Ethereum.
ETH, 612 million. Bitcoin was the second one, 411.3 million. Who do you think the third one was? Just to ask.
I'm gonna go with Doge.
Close.
Okay.
That's number 4.
Okay.
Number 3 was XRP, 121 million.
Oh wow.
Doge was 4 at 90.41 million, and so was 5th at 88.95 billion.
Substantial losses across the board.
Yeah. Very, very hurtful.
Yeah, XRP is currently sitting at what, $2.47?
I can look at it. I think I have an XRP somewhere.
Yeah, $2.47. Down
Jesus.
13% on Coinbase.
Sounds about right. Yeah, but market's recovering fairly well right now. Starting to bounce, so we have to wait for candles to print. Even stock markets were hit very hard too, by the way. Nvidia, the traction it gained from last week was already back down another 6% to where the lows were.
So I searched up XRP on Coinbase, and it also shows me XRP 2.0, XRP 2, XRP Army, XRP Healthcare, XRP Classic. There is an insane amount of bullshit coins out there. And I say bullshit because this XRP2 literally has a valuation of $0. It's literally zero.
Can you buy it on Coinbase? Does it let you buy?
No, it doesn't let you buy.
Okay, sounds about right.
It looks like this thing just came out. Oh no, December 2024. With a volume of $629. What is that? So all these new coins get added to the list of potential of the list of altcoins, and these altcoins are essentially not going to go anywhere.
So what the sentiment I read on Twitter was that this capitulation event is really flushing out anything and everything that needs to either go away, stay at zero, and hopefully allowing the market to reset and go back into actual projects with actual potential moving forward, which the cryptoverse strayed away from. Right, because everyone went to memes or these new token listings, and we're straying away from either tried and true projects or things that have a future potential.
Yeah, it's been very commercialized,
as we stated last week.
Yeah, it's really rough weekend for crypto. A good wake up call. So you remember the guy Ross Ulbricht?
Yeah, I remember. He got freed.
Ulbricht. Yeah, he got freed. And the guy went on pump.fun. Do you know what pump.fun is?
I know, we've talked about it multiple times on this.
Yeah, so apparently he had been sent some coins on there, and once he got access to those coins, kind of nuked the price of the coins.
I mean, homie needs money.
Yeah.
Also, if you send me tokens, am I not allowed to sell them?
Well, I guess you are, but it looks like I'm gonna pull up this. I'm gonna share my screen. It's a post by Arkham.
Okay.
So Arkham says that Ross Ulbricht lost $12 million that he had on Pump Fund.
He didn't lose it. Yeah.
Ross Ulbricht or someone with access to his wallet just accidentally nuked the price of a Pump Fund coin sent to him while trying to provide liquidity on Radium. Because he initialized the liquidity pool at the wrong price, 1.5 million of the token, 5% supply, was instantly taken by MEV bots, then sold into the existing pool. Then he did it again and lost another 10 million. So it didn't seem like he sold it. He was trying to provide liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
And a bot picked it up, causing an insane sell-off or dump in price.
Yeah, it's just that since there's no liquidity, any sort of movement like that will nuke the price pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy. So then there's like a continuation post, which is January 30th. Ross Ulbricht Solana donation address received 50% of the supply of Ross from the developer last week. Ross tried to add single-sided liquidity to sell the coins off passively, but accidentally created a pool with Radium, CPMM, constant product market maker. Then it says the MEV bot that took the coins managed to sell them off for over $600,000, sending the price down 90% in the process. So he put the coins up for liquidity to try to sell it slowly, but probably misput the way he meant to put it in.
Yeah.
Someone bought it all up and dumped it onto the market. So he still holds 10% of what he was given, but ultimately lost $12 million worth of tokens,
which he would have never been able. He would have never been able to exit for that amount either way.
Yeah, for sure. But still, like, kind of crazy. Even someone who was in crypto he's an OG, and he still made a mistake like that.
I mean, it's so easy to make mistakes in crypto.
Granted, he's also been in jail
11 years.
Yeah.
No, but apart from it's also just that easy to make mistakes. Like those simple technical issues. I mean, we've sent tokens on the wrong chain to wallets
to nowhere
to the ether. Like it's that easy.
Literally to gone.
Like if you're just not constantly just double checking one end and then the other and then making sure, and it's real easy just to click the wrong button instead of selling 5%. He could have been trying to put 0.5% and fat fingers it, and he put 5%. And then the second one was just like, I already nuked 5. What's another 5?
He's like, something didn't work out. Let's see what it was. Commits the same mistake.
So it's easy mistakes that become very costly.
It's like let's say you're conducting a lot of transactions, and then you mean to send some coins to one wallet, but you copied and pasted the wrong wallet, and you're like, what the heck? It should be there. That one wrong wallet probably belongs to someone else, and then you're like, where the heck did this go?
It's that easy.
Yeah.
So as we're here,
it's
definitely as we're here, don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for any future updates that we may have.
Let us know if you're liking the video so far. If you like the pod, any suggestions, we see them. We have been a little slow on comments lately.
Yeah.
Thankfully the other comments are kind of slowing down.
The bot comments, they get
The
a little.
bots, the bot
cooled
comments.
off. I want you to know that your SUI is in profit.
It's in profit already?
You can check it if you want. I know it's in profit, but you can check it.
Hell yeah.
So BTC is currently sitting at 98,700, and SUI is currently sitting at $3.63.
$3.63? Yep. Wow.
And Sol is at 209 as of right now too.
Well, Coinbase has it at $3.74.
Well, remember, they're different exchanges, their own liquidity.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so
yeah, my average cost is $3.15. Because I got in at $3.38 and then again at $2.85.
Good shit, good stuff. So yeah, man.
Shmoney. I don't need to go into work today.
Damn. Well, that sucks for Ross tanking the price and then the bot doing what bots do. Right?
Not only did Ross lose 12 mil, the holders of the coin
they
got dumped on.
Yeah.
Because what he was trying to do was sell it off slowly to not
nuke the price.
Cause that. And
did
price got
the
nuked
complete opposite, and then the bot sent the final nuke. Ross sent 2 mini nukes, and then the bot was like, "Here's the big boy."
Yeah. Rough.
All right. So I found this data, which I would like to share with you because it's quite interesting. So look at this. So this is by Blockchain Daily. Just in, data reveals that retail investors are panic selling as institutions are quietly accumulating. This was sent out. This was published yesterday at 7 in the morning. Mind you, at that time, Asia wasn't awake yet. But look at the chart. So this is Bitcoin retail and large investors holding. So this is retail. The purple. It is dumping down drastically. Versus institutions who are just quietly and steadily continuing to buy, regardless of price action. It's like we said that one time, don't sell your tokens to these people, and that's exactly what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Alex feels so offended.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. People are gonna... Retail market has the ability to sway, as we could see, because the price literally tanked. And yet, institutions are still buying. And, here we are. Yeah, here we are. Price is going back up. Now you got to go. Whoever sold is likely going to buy
much higher
at a higher price
than what they sold at.
Mm-hmm. Don't get cold feet, guys. It's not investment advice. If you need the money, do what you got to do. But
if you're just going to panic sell,
if you can hold off. Yeah, if you can hold off, it will be better off for you. If you're specifically with like top 10, like good coins.
Yeah, if nothing in the token mechanics have changed, if there is no issues within the team, if there is none of these things, that means that token is still in a good place. It still has it's still the same token you bought at $10. It's just now it's at $5, but the principles are the same. Mm-hmm. It's not like you bought the Ferrari and then there's another Ferrari that's crashed that's now has issues and has all these things in it. It's the same car, it's the same project, it's the same everything. There is no reason to change your thesis. That's it.
Institutions keep on buying. Institutions keep. Don't paper hands it, don't lettuce hands it, as William says. Hold on for dear life. Hodl. In the future, you will be grateful that you did. Set and forget. Put it away. Don't look at it. If you could not look at it for 8 years, you'll be
even better.
You'll be
only sell if you need to sell.
Position.
If you don't need to sell, try to hold off.
Yep. Someone told me that one time. They're like, "You never sell what you own." He's like, there's no need. I was like, damn.
Unless it's like you need it to survive, no need it. No need for it. Mm-hmm. But on that note, we are having technical difficulties. Alex has a job in real life.
Yeah, I practice.
He practices alchemy.
I do. I don't practice alchemy.
He's an alchemist.
More of enchantments. And my battery keeps on dying, so camera is giving us technical difficulties for some reason today.
It's typically me, but now it's him, so that works out in my favor.
Yeah, it typically is William, actually.
But on that note, hope you enjoyed this far.
Yep. If you guys feel like there's any more content or anything in particular that you would like for us to talk about, shoot us a comment, throw it down there. It will be greatly appreciated because it really helps us out.
Yeah. Don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, Instagram, YouTube. Share. Share is very important. Sharing is caring, guys.
Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring.
And
but on that note, hopefully market starts to recover, and next week we come back with good news.
Hopefully next week we can start the week without a dump. Ideally. Yeah. Hopefully. We'll see what happens though.
Yep. Well, thank you for tuning in
to another week
of your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes Crypto.
The Unscripted
Crypto Podcast. Ayo.